Uh, okay, I'm thinking.
Look at the tab where you have the slides. You hit present from there.
That's where I think I am, but obviously not. So hang on.
I think you're in the chat room as opposed to into the where your slides are.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, they were both named the same things. That confused me a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Madison County. I'm the technology specialist for the entire school district, and we're located here in Huntsville, Alabama, which is home of one of the NASA areas. We also have the Space and Rocket Center here, and we're home to the Space Camp. But Madison County, we're kind of the bedroom community around the city of Huntsville. We have approximately 20,000 students, about 1,200 teachers. We do have 28 brick and mortar schools, and this year we have our first virtual school. So not every day that you can say that, you know, you kind of wander through your neighborhood and this is what you see going down one of the main streets. So we spaces everywhere in our community it expects us to kind of be on the cutting edge with technology. So we strive to do that. We are we're not a very rich school system. That's probably not a very good word to say there, but our funding is not as much as it would be if we were in a municipality. So we have to strive to do the very best for the money that we are given through the State Department and grants and et cetera. So I want to kind of talk to you about three things, how we got started with, excuse me, with Speak Up, how we get participation amongst our shareholders, and then what we do with the data. We are a BYD school district, and this is our second year. Doing that, we piloted it 1 year. Our elementary schools are coming on board this year. So we're real excited about the direction that we're going with technology in our district. I'm not exactly certain the year that we started. We're thinking about 2008, 2009, but we've been with Speak Up for a lot of years. And one of the reasons we started, we were looking for some data that it could actually help us with our federal grants that we were receiving back in those earlier years. And also we had a brand new state technology plan that was coming out, and it was looking for data to support the things that we wanted to do within our school district. So when we found Speak Up, we knew that that was one of our answers. How do we get participation from our local areas, our local schools? We have 2 technology surveys that we administer each year. One is Speak Up in the fall, and the other one is our state technology survey that we do in the spring. So we use the data from both of those surveys, along with lots of other data, to create our technology plans that are due this time of the year. So our goal is kind of lofty, but we're almost reaching it. But we want 100% participation from our administrators. We have 28 sites, and all those schools have 1 principal and a minimum of 1 assistant principal or instructional leader there. So we're looking for their leadership in helping us with the survey, so that we kind of know the direction that we want to go district-wide with all of our technology purchases and professional development and activities for our students. And then we're looking for about 80% participation from our teachers. We have about 1,200 teachers. And then we think a 20 to 30% goal, although some years we get more than that, from our students. And we have not set any kind of goals for our parents or our community, but we're going to be working on that. So how do we promote the surveys? We start off, and we've already started mentioning it back in the month of August, to our principals at their meetings, assistant principals at their meetings. I oversee some part-time technology coaches and the librarians in our district. So I utilize that relationship with them, and they are real advocates of the surveys. And so they put the word out a lot. And then our director of teaching and learning and our superintendent are big advocates of the survey. And so they really help us by pushing it with lots of promotional items from the floor of meetings, and also through email and tweets, etc. One of the items that we use, and I'm sure Julie will talk about this later on, we use a lot of the resources that come straight from Speak Up. There's I think it's called a welcome packet, and we use the flyers. There are templates there for emails and tweets, so you don't have to dream up anything. You have everything right there. There's a lot of press releases. We have a brand new director of communications this year at our school district, and I plan to get with him on those releases. There's lesson plans for teachers to, how to, work the survey into their lessons. So there's so much more, but we really take advantage of those items from Speak Up. And then, of course, we do some things on our own, too. At our local schools, once those principals and the librarians and teachers have the word to go, then they start getting the word out to the community, the students, the parents, through newsletters, through social media. We are a big advocate of branding ourselves, so we use a lot of social media. All of our buildings will put some kind of advertisement on their outside marquees that, it's time to take the survey. We have a listserv that goes out daily at a minimum to all our schools, and our principals are putting that in those daily or at least weekly emails to our parents. And then our tech coaches use a web tool called S'mores. It's kind of like a little online flyer and almost like a competition there with them creating, some attractive flyers to send out to all their parents and teachers. Every school kind of chooses their own method of how they get the word out to their stakeholders. And several of our schools have been recipients of awards from Speak Up for high participation amongst their schools, and we're real proud of that. I receive a weekly summary from Speak Up, and I forward that on to principals. That's usually on a Friday, sometimes on a Saturday morning. Our schools are very competitive. We have like 5 communities. They're called families. There's a high school in each of those, and then feeder schools, elementary and middle school. And they like to be the number one. So sometimes I'll get at least one email after I've sent out that update from a principal saying, now, what was that link again? Because they've seen that they're behind on the race trying to beat the other schools to have the most participation. Our students participate in the surveys mostly through the computer labs or in the classroom. Those lower elementaries, we suggested them that they take that group survey, so their classroom teacher, or sometimes they'll send them into the library and the librarian have a little technology lesson with them, and they just administer the survey right there. We utilize those 2 weeks right before the Christmas break, which is like usually the last 2 weeks of the survey, to really push our students to take the survey at the school. Most of our schools still have a computer lab or a mobile lab, as we are getting more down to the BYD, we're encouraging them to use their own devices to take those surveys. And then what do we do with our data? This was our last year's survey results, and we're digging through all that right now as we're finalizing our technology plan. But we try to compare year to year kind of how we're doing. This is the 2 previous years. And we're about on target. I think last year we were just a little bit higher amongst our students, but maybe a little bit lower on our parents and our administrators. And we always find that our high school numbers are low. We're looking for more ways to get the opinions and have those high school students have a little more of a voice. So we're looking for more ways for them to get involved with the survey. We scour the data, looking through each of those categories, looking for celebrations, places where we've improved, also maybe some warning signs, places where we might need to pay a little more attention with our professional development or things we need to purchase. We do insert all these results, not all of the results, but the things that matter the most to us into our technology plan. And then we use the PowerPoint presentation template that Speak Up provides to compile our data into a presentation. We try to do that with our district leaders, our board, and our school leaders. We take all that information and plug it into our technology plan and compare it to previous years. you'll notice here, we've just taken question number 27 that was on the teacher. We thought that was kind of a strength. And if you'll notice, we've been kind of comparing it since 2012. Some years those question numbers change, and we have to kind of do some fancy fixing up of our data to try to find another question that's kind of adequate there with it. What's next for us? We have trying to become a little more of an advocacy tool here with the survey. So we want to present more to our community and our local legislators, maybe for some leverage for more funding for technology in our classrooms. And we're looking to try to get those part-time technology coaches into full-time positions to help our teachers and our students with technology in the classroom. And then we have a brand new learning management system. This is our second year. We're going to be using it. I think I heard the previous speaker talk about plugging it into Blackboard, and we want to do the same thing with Canvas so that it's right there between now and December, and so that our students will actually be participating in the survey from there. And that's about it for me. But we're so thankful for the opportunity that we have to work with Speak Up, and the data that we receive from it has made huge changes in the way that we're using technology and the way that we're promoting the results of that within our school district.